Today, we're looking at how to create a sense of community using social media. This is Queensgate. Now, they use their Instagram as a digital shop window. So it's a way of getting people physically down to the centre and showing off the great stuff that they have. And what I absolutely love about this is, and this is a little bit different. So this post itself here says, would you like to volunteer for the At Little Miracles charity? So today, so it's given that kind of fear of missing out, that kind of, it has to be today. Drop by the Little Miracles Sensory Room between 9 and 3 p.m. and meet their volunteer manager, Sarah, to how you could be part of an amazing charity. Plus, you can bring your kids down to play and learn more. So this is them promoting their sensory room, which is run by a charity. And what they're looking for is volunteers. So this, to me, just speaks of, it's the real people behind a place. A shopping centre is all about being like, the heart of the community, the hub of the local community. And what better way of showing that is to have, something as amazing as a sensory room and a way of getting people from the digital to the physical is by promoting it digitally. And what they're doing is they're humanizing everything by showing, I guess you can see there's like people in the background there. They are showing how lovely the signage is and the branding, and then they're mentioning Sarah by name, so you know who to come down to, and they're tagging in the Little Miracles charity as well, the people that run it. So it's lovely in so many ways. So it's heartwarming post. It shows me that they've got a sensory room. So if I didn't know it before, I would know it now. And again, I would find that through some of their hashtags here. But equally, it gives me a real insight into what they're doing at the centre and how I can be involved. And by knowing that actually I can volunteer and still bring my kids down and do something fun, again, it means that you're not alienating people. So again, it's just that way of kind of getting the community involved in the community. That's what volunteering is all about, isn't it? Everybody helping each other. And what better way of doing that than the local shopping centre promoting what they're doing for people who need it in the area. Now, if I was these guys, one of the things that I'd want to do is I would want to make sure that all my content was as planned in as I could get it. So I would go to Maybe and go to my content calendar. In there, you would see all the content you've already got planned in. And you can also in here compare your content calendar to literally any other shopping centre. So I might want to compare it to this one here. So I would click there and I could compare everything that was in my calendar to their calendar. So what this would show me is everything that I've got coming up, and what it would do is show me their previous week. Obviously we can't see their week ahead, but what we can do is see the previous week's worth of content. So you would just go here, click in the previous week, you would see my previous week's worth of content and theirs. And the reason why we do this is because there's no better way of understanding what's working and what isn't for your business than being able to see someone else's calendar. Today, we're looking at how to create a sense of community using social media. This is Queensgate, and what they do is they use social media as a great way to show people what they've got going on down at the centre and attract people down. But this one's a little bit different. So what they've done here is this is their sensory room, and they want to A, publicise the sensory room on social media, but B, they want to promote that whole community helping the community kind of vibe. And I think a shopping centre generally is the hub of their local community. So there's no better way to show that than to get people involved in something that's charitable. And here it's saying, would you like to volunteer for the charity? They've tagged in the charity, which is great, and that's the charity, as you can see here, that actually run the sensory room. And then it says today, the 5th of May, drop down between 9 and 3, you can meet their volunteer manager to talk about how you can be part of an amazing charity. And it says you can bring your kids down to play and learn more. So what's great about that is, A, if my kids had sensory issues, I would immediately want to go down there and check it out, which I did if I didn't know about it before. B, if I was a local mum and I wanted to volunteer but didn't know what I was going to do with my kids, and I would think, wow, right, okay, I can do both. That's great. and see, because it mentions people by name, it just really personalizes it, and it makes me think, wow, I could really make a difference here. So it's a really good way of promoting community, creating a sense of community using social media. Now, if I was these guys, one of the things I want to do is to get all my content planned in. So I would go to Maybe, I would go to Content Calendar, and in here would be at the top all of the content I'd already planned in for the month, for the week. And I could go through it and make sure that I was comfortable with it. And I could go through the weeks before, see if there was any trends. But equally, I could look at any other business. So they could literally choose any other shopping centre, they could choose any of the other retailer, they could choose any national business, and they would get to see their content versus their content. And again, it's just a good way of going, right, okay, this post worked really well. Let's have a look at it. Why do we think it worked really well? And what were the comments? I can actually even go in and view the post. So it just gives me real insight into what's working and what's not for someone else, and gives me some inspiration for myself as well. Now, as always, if you've got any questions at all, click on the little blue button. We'd love to help.